You should all see our homepage. And I'm going to demo today our online banking product. Now, the wonderful thing about mobile banking app and our online banking system, with a few small exceptions, this nice new change, this upgrade, is the two things are pretty seamless. So the way things look through our online banking are pretty much how things are going to look through our mobile banking app. So that's a really nice change. So no matter where you go, you can do what you need to do. Before, you could only do Zelle, for example, through the mobile banking app. Now you can do that through both the online banking version or the mobile banking app. Card management, we're going to talk about those features. Again, now you can do both of those through anything. So today, like I said, I'm going to do the online banking version. And we've set up a demo account that we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to log in with my demo account right here, sign in. And this is for Marnie Mouse. She's Mickey's distant cousin. See if we can get in here. There we go. And I just want to point out, we have this beautiful new image in the background. This is a local photographer, Nancy Battaglia, who took this. And if you were wondering where this is, you can kind of see down here in this side, tips you off that this is the top of Whiteface Mountain. So we love all the local imagery, as you probably can see that we use a lot of it in all of our marketing and our apps, because of course we are the local bank here. So anytime we can use local photography, we certainly do that. So a lot of you might be having trouble, hopefully you're not having trouble logging in anymore, but I will say on our online banking page, there is a wonderful video to help you log in, because we are requiring you to set up what's called two-factor authentication, which means we're going to need to confirm your email address, and then you're going to be getting a code to your phone number. And we've discovered that this is a far more secure way of protecting your account than the old watermark image, that pretty image that you used to see, or the challenge questions like, what was your childhood pet name? So these things are really good, but I've already two-factor authenticated Marnie, so she's not going to need to do that today. So I'm going to sign her in, and we're going to get to the dashboard. So hi, Marnie. So here we are, we're at the dashboard. And hopefully you've all had a chance to log in and see the new dashboard. I'm going to just go over some of the components of the dashboard. Today, you're going to hear me refer to some things as tiles and cards. And what I want to show you is what I mean by that. So these light blue boxes and these longer light blue boxes are what are called tiles. And they're just quick things that you can click. They're the most common functions that we've seen. So we've made them very easy for people to access. So right when you log in, you can quickly click one of these tiles and do whatever function you need. And then the other thing I'm going to talk about today are these cards. So these white boxes down here are all called cards. And again, these are some of the most common functions that people use through online banking. So we're trying to bring everything really easily here for you to use. So again, these are the tiles and these white things are cards. Now, a lot of these functions you can get to through these tiles, or you can get to it through a card, or you can get to it through the main menu, which is here. So the cool thing about this new online banking system is there's lots of different ways to get to the function that you want to do. So whatever way works best for you is what you can do. The nice thing about our online mobile banking app, I'll say, is that this left-hand side menu flies out. So you just press the little 3 lines and you can have this menu fly out. So the feature that most people are going to immediately go to, at least this is when I check my account every day, which I hope you do, check your account in the morning, is to your main checking account. So I've named Marnie's checking account Checking Awesome. I'm going to show you how to change that name in just a minute, because Checking Awesome is kind of a silly name. But here's where you see all of your stuff for this checking account. So hopefully you have a longer list of transactions than Marnie does. things that we've had to test her to do, basically just transfers back and forth. But this is where you're going to see all of the transactions that you've made, and it can scroll down for 90 days worth. So you'll be able to see 90 days worth of transactions for your account. But say you want to change this account name to something better, you can go over here to your settings, and we'll talk about that in just a minute, but I do want to show you how to quickly change the name of your account. So you just go to settings, and then you're going to see this button over here that says rename. So you just click that, and you can call this anything you can name your accounts anything that makes sense to you. This does not show up on our system. This is just purely for your own information. So I'm going to just call this Marnie Checking. I'm going to save. And I'm going to go back out to there. And now see, it's gone from Checking Awesome to just Marnie Checking. So again, this is a really great way, especially if you have lots of different savings accounts. I know some people have a savings account for certain things that they're saving up for. You can name this your Christmas savings account, whatever it is you want. I think that's a great thing to do. So in this main dashboard for your checking account, for your account, you're going to see your transactions. You're going to see some tiles for some common things that you can do. You're also going to see this card that says card management, and we're going to talk about card management in just a minute, but you can see whatever debit card you have attached to this account, and you're going to see the last 4 digits of that card there. And then the really cool thing with our new system is it's going to give you some details about this account. You're going to have our routing number here. You can also get this on our website. There's your account number. You can see the date you opened this account. You can see what your last statement balance is. You can see the date of your last deposit. So lots of great information is just really quickly here at your fingertips. So, which is a really great feature. So I want to just show you a couple things right here. So transfers, this is something that we all do. Transfer from your checking account to checking, transfer to statement to savings to checking. So it's really easy to do. You can do it right here within your checking account. You can also do it right from the dashboard here. I'm going to get back out to the dashboard by clicking on this dashboard link here. And I can hit transfer there too. I can also hit transfer here. And I could hit transfer here. So again, lots of ways to get to the features that you do the most, but we're going to get back into Marnie Checking. And we're going to do a transfer. So Marnie Checking, she wants to transfer money into this account. This is her savings account. We should really rename that one. That's a terrible name. That's the system given name. And we're going to transfer $1. So it's as simple as that. Now, there are other options. If you click this More Options button, it's going to bring down, and you can actually set up recurring transfers. I know a lot of folks were concerned, how do I set up recurring transfers? This is how you do it. So you can choose whether you just do it the one time, you can do it twice a month, you can do it monthly. So say we want to have $1 transfer every month. So every month starts, you can just choose whatever date you want. So say I want it to start on the 1st. So it's going to start on November 1st. And then I hit submit, and that transfer has been submitted. And I can click done. And you can always edit or cancel scheduled transfers from the transfer view. And we'll go back to that in just a minute. And I click done. And now I can see that I've got a scheduled activity. So I know that something's coming up. Look at that. I'm transferring to this account every month starting on November 1st. So another thing that a lot of folks are really loving is e-statements. And if you haven't signed up for e-statements yet, I don't know why you haven't. It's wonderful. And we save, I believe it's 18 months worth of statements for you. So if Marnie had e-statements, she doesn't yet, but what she would do is you just go in here, you need to accept the agreement, click accept. And then you can choose which statements you'd like her to be enrolled in. And we're going to enroll Marnie in all of her statements. Going to click enroll. This is easy. Now Marnie's enrolled in e-statements. And because she's just enrolled, she doesn't have anything showing. But for people who have had e-statements, they would all be located here. And you've got 18 months worth of statements that would be listed here. If you want to change your e-statement settings, you can change things too. So you can click sign up and changes. So for example, say I don't I no longer want to receive e-statements. I want to go back to paper. All you'd have to do is come in here, uncheck these boxes, click Save Settings, and you're all set. You also can save your email address or change your email address here. You would just change your email address here, click Save Settings, and you're good to go. We know email addresses change constantly. Always let us know if your email address does change. So I'm going to go back to the Marty checking account. And we're going to talk about the alert preferences in just a minute too, but I also want to highlight one more thing, which is this attached to a conversation. And this is a really cool new feature. So oftentimes when people call in to the bank about they have a question about a transaction or a charge, they want to tell us exactly which one it is. And it's hard for us to, figure out what they're talking about, and we're trying to figure out what they're talking about. So now you can actually attach a transaction right to a conversation. And you can either do it by clicking on this tile, or even better, you can just click on the transaction in question. So say I want to talk about this transaction, I can now actually attach this to a conversation, and I can start a new conversation. And we'll talk about support, how to get in touch with us and how to get help. And that is going to be a really important feature coming up soon. So the next thing I want to talk about while we're still in checking is a lot of folks need to download their transactions into file formats such as Excel, but most commonly, especially for businesses, is they want to download things into QuickBooks and Quicken, things of that nature. And the way they're going to be able to do that is through this little download button right here. So if you click on that, it gives you the option for you to choose whatever date range you want. You can choose a custom range, which I know a lot of people like to do. So whether it's just the first of the month to the 31st, whatever it is, you can quickly choose whichever month you want. You can also choose the file type. And I know this has been a little hidden, so you do have to go into the account. Let me show you how to do that again. Again, I'm in the checking account, so I've clicked into the checking. I'm clicking on this file format download button, and this is where I have the choice. And then you can choose whether you want it to be in a CSV, which is an Excel type of format. Do you want it to be in a QuickBooks format and Quicken? These are the ones that we see the most option, but we do have a text file choice, or the OFX format as well. So whatever format you need, just let us know and we can get that going for you. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard right now because I do want to talk about the questions, the support that I was just alluding to about attached to a conversation. So as you folks know, there's lots of different ways that you can get in touch with us. Obviously, I would say that chatting with your local branch is always a good first step. They know you, they know your account, so always call your local branch and they can troubleshoot. But sometimes you just want to, you're in your account and you just want to send us a message. And now you can do that. So you would click on this message tab, and now you can start a conversation with our specialists in online banking. And you can see that some of them are online right now. You can type a message. We usually try to respond as soon as possible, but we give ourselves about a 2-hour window. So I could say, hi, Doreen, or hi, anybody. Hi, Champlain National Bank, if I can spell. I need help. And then you can click send. But say you'd like to also, say you'd like to show them exactly what is troubling you. So the way you can do that is I'm going to go back into the account, is I'm going to attach it to a conversation. So remember how I was in this transaction? I can now click attach to a conversation, start a new conversation, and now it's actually attached that transaction into the chat conversation that I'd be having. So this transaction doesn't look right. I didn't make it. And you're going to send that. And now the ladies who work in online banking are going to be able to look at that transaction, know exactly what you're talking about, and they're going to be able to help you much easier than before. And I think a lot of people in this day and age just prefer to use a chat function. I mean, phone calls are still great. We love talking to our clients, never hesitate to call us. But this is just another way that you can communicate with us through chat. Of course, we are only open from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can leave chats when we're closed, and we would just get back to it when we're back in the office. And of course, that also includes holidays that we're not here. So that's a great option. I'm just going to go back down here. Also, if you can't remember what the phone number is for your local branch, they're all here. So this is our main line here in Willsboro, where we're headquartered. Again, you can send us a message here, or if you want to call your local branch, but you can't remember what their phone number is, here they all are. So you can immediately find those numbers really quickly. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard. So we were talking about these cards, and I'm going to go through some of these card choices. But say you don't like how they're laid out. Say you really want to have your messages, or you do a lot of remote deposits, you want to have that card closer to the top. You can now actually change how your dashboard is laid out. So say I make a lot of remote deposits. I love depositing checks from my phone at home. I can actually drag this card up here, and I think that's pretty good. And I can hit done. And now remote deposits is here. The other thing that we've encountered since we've launched this that a couple people have been confused by is, I'm going to go back to organized dashboard. I'm going to show you what happens if you remove a card. So say you accidentally remove a card, or you don't see all the cards that I'm showing right now. It might be because your cards are hidden. So I'm going to just hit this X, and we're going to hide some cards. I'm going to hit done, and you're going to see, oh goodness, I don't have very many cards there. What happened to my cards? You just go back to organized dashboard, and under this add a card feature, you're going to see all the cards that are hidden. So you can quickly just add all these cards back by clicking on them. Now you've got it all back. Click done. You've got all your cards there. But if there are cards there you don't ever want to use, or you say you don't want to do remote deposits or whatever the case may be, you can certainly hide them, and that will just get your dashboard experience to whatever way you'd like. A lot of customization with this new feature. Pause to take a drink of water. Okay. So another thing, one of the most popular features, of course, with online banking is bill pay. And again, there are lots of different ways you can get to your bill pay. You can click this pay a bill tab, this tile, excuse me. You can do bill pay over here in this menu, and there's now a bill pay card. So bill pay has slightly changed since we launched this new system. However, if you like the old bill pay look, we understand that a lot of folks like that, you can still access that. This is the one thing that's a little quirky between our mobile banking app and our online banking system that you would get to through your computer. Is that you cannot get to the old look through the mobile banking app. You can only do it through the online, if you log in through online banking through a computer. And you would get to it through this manage payments button here. So if I click manage payments, Marnie doesn't have any payments set up, but you will see very quickly that it's the same interface that you're used to seeing. So again, you can get to that, and it's through manage payments. But the cool thing about the new bill pay system is it has some quick options for you to do. So if you need to pay a bill, which is if you're paying a bill or paying a company, or if you want to pay a person. So you may remember before we launched Zelle, you could send money to either businesses or people through your bill pay. Now the pay a person function sends the money through what's called the ACH system. So it takes about a day or two to get to them, where Zelle is instantaneous. But some people prefer to use the pay a person option versus the Zelle option, and we want to make sure that you have whatever option you want. So you can still do those two things through bill pay. So if I wanted to pay a bill, I would just click on it, and then I could search my payees if I had any, or I would just add a payee. So you don't have to go back to that old system if you don't want to. It's just there for you if you do. And the way that same thing works with the pays if you're trying to pay a person. Again, remember, we gave you options. You can send it to them via text, whether it's direct deposit, if you have their email address or their text message. If you have their routing number and their account number, you can do it as a direct deposit. And again, it usually takes about a day or two to go through. But speaking of which, a lot of folks have really embraced Zelle. And again, you can get to Zelle through this tile, and you can get to it through this menu item over here. Zelle is a wonderful thing. I really like Zelle. I highly encourage everyone to use Zelle versus things like Cash App, Venmo. Zelle is, I think, safer because it's actually embedded right into your Champlain National Bank mobile banking app or your online banking system. You're not having to go out to another app and give them your banking credentials. It's all within the same place. And it's a way that you can send money instantaneously to people that you trust. This is not used to pay businesses that you don't know. We've run into a couple issues with people trying to pay using Zelle to Facebook companies, and they turn out to be fraud. You should only use Zelle to send money to your family and friends and people you trust. That's really, really important. But this is how you do it. It's super easy. So you just click on send money with Zelle, click send. I set myself up. Marnie wants to send me money. So if I click on this, I could just send myself $1, click review, and the money would be sent instantaneously to that person. And it's very easy to set up recipients too. You just click up here to the add recipient. And I'd have to confirm my credentials, which I can do really quickly. Which it makes you do for more secure things. And now I can just add a new recipient. So I could just do Mickey Mouse. And I would just say Disney at WaltDisney.com. And it would send this an email address saying, hey, this person wants to send you money. And they could go and put their credentials in, and it would send them money very easily. You can also request money with Zelle, and you can see the history also here. So if Barney had sent people money with Zelle or had received money, that can all be put here. So I'm just going to pause for just a second just to see if we have had any questions come in. Bear with me. All right. So hopefully you guys are all super excited about all of these things I'm talking to you about now. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about, and if you read your marketing material, which I hope you did, the letter that was sent to you in the mail and the emails that we've been sending out, the one thing you would have noticed is that you're going to need to reset up account alerts and card management alerts. And if you're sitting there saying, I don't know what either of those things are, don't worry about it, because I'm going to show you what they are and why you should set them up. The first thing I do want to talk to you about are card alerts, card management. This is a wonderful tool, and I highly encourage you to get off this call, this webinar, and set this up. It's super important to know when your debit card is being used. It's going to be your best line of defense against fraud. I can tell you that on my personal card, I have it set up. So anytime my debit card is used, I get a text notification, but you can choose how you want to be notified. It's just sort of instinctive now. I use my card at Price Chopper, and then I hear my phone buzz letting me know that I just used it. I think that's just a great tool. I can tell you that we've all probably been dealing with fraud. I had some fraud on my card a couple of years ago, and because I had this card management system set up, I got a notification even before the fraud center knew. It was like a couple minutes before the fraud center knew that that was a fraudulent charge, so I was able to stop it. So that's just such a really cool tool. And the way you do it is you go into this card management and you click on your debit card. So we've got Marnie, she's got a debit card. And there's a couple things that you can do right off the bat from this card. which is, say you lose your card or you know you're not going to use it for a short period of time. You can quickly toggle your card on and off just with this button right here. And all this does is lock your card. You're going to get an alert saying, are you sure you want to lock this card? And if you click lock, it will lock it until you come back and untoggle the card and turn it back on. So a lot of debit cards and credit cards have that feature. You can actually control that right through online and mobile banking, which is really cool. You can also quickly report your card as being lost or stolen. So say you have no idea where your card is, you need to shut this card off. You can actually do it right through here, and we can take corrective action, especially if we're closed. So what I want to talk about is this alerts and protections option. Now, I will tell you that I have this toggled on right here. Notify me on all transactions. So I have this turned on. So say you don't want to specify different locations or merchant types or transaction types limits. There's lots of different specifications you can do. I just say blanket. If I use my debit card anywhere, I want to know about it. But then you have to go up here to this notification settings and say, well, how do I want to be notified? So you're going to click manage, and it's going to give you a couple choices. So if a transaction is blocked, how do I want to be alerted? And blocked transactions can be things like, was your debit card declined? How do you want to be notified? Do you want to receive a text? Do you just want to get an in-app message, which means only when you're within your online banking? And I would suggest for folks who set this up to either get a text or an email, because it depends on how you like to get your notifications, if you prefer to get them through email or text. But if I'm a texter, so I'm going to choose text. But this is the one I'm talking about, notification alerts. So when a transaction has been processed, a notification alert will be sent using the selected methods. And I check my bank account in here at least once a day, but I want to get a text anytime my debit card has been used. So I'm going to click text. You can also choose email. Like I said, same thing. You can also keep the in-app message. You could get all three if you chose to do that. That seems pretty extreme to me, but whatever way works for you. And then you click save. And now Marnie is going to be notified on all transactions by text and in-app messages. She'll also get a text anytime she has a blocked message. You can go in and specify certain location types. Now, this says for international, and I will say at Champlain National Bank, you are not allowed to use your card internationally except at ATMs, and in Canada, you can use your card in Canada. So if you wanted to send a notification, if it ever was attempted in an international location, you can certainly try that, or you can block transactions. But again, we're already blocking those for you. You cannot use your card internationally except at ATMs. You can choose what merchant types you want to choose. I mean, if you really wanted to get down into the nitty-gritty, so you wanted to just be sent a notification if something was, if you did something for travel, or you could block a transaction, for example, for something that's age restricted, or say you were setting up this card for someone and you didn't want them to use it for anything other than groceries. You could actually go through groceries and gas and block all these categories, so that card could only be used at gas stations and groceries. So I'll hit save, and that card has now been blocked from being able to use at those things. So you can see there's some applications if you're on an account with like a child or someone that you're trying to monitor their spending. Transaction types, again, you can either send notifications for just certain types of transactions, or you can actually block transactions for certain things. So you could say, I don't want this card used anywhere online, or I don't want ATM transactions to be used for this card. So you have some choices there. And then finally, this is another really cool feature, is you can get alerts if you spend over a certain amount that you set. So say I want to get an alert anytime Marnie spends over $500. I can actually set this alert up. So now I will be alerted if that card is used over $500. You can also set up monthly limits. So say you want to just have an overall limit for the month, you can set it up. So lots of different options that you can explore to set up alerts. But again, I think it's really important in this day and age with all the different kinds of fraud that we're seeing that you set up alerts and protections on your card. Super critical, super easy, right from your dashboard. We're going to go back to your dashboard again. Your card management, you can find it here right on the dashboard or right in the account that your card is for. Although, oops, looks like it's gone. Okay, so that's card management. So let's talk about account alerts. This is another thing that people really like. And if you click on alert preferences, this is going to talk about account specific alerts. So not debit card alerts, but things that happen with your account in addition to things that you do with your debit card. So for example, say you want to add an alert if your balance, this is the one that I can see that most people do, is if it falls under $100. So say you, oh gosh, I don't want to overdraw my account. So send me an alert whenever my account falls under $100. Send me a text and an email and an in-app message. Add that alert. Now I've got an alert set up that when my balance is below $100, I'm going to get an alert. You can also set this up by transactions. So for people who are waiting for, say, a direct deposit to hit, you can say, okay, whenever I get a direct deposit, say over $1,000, send me an email. So that tells me, oh, must be my paycheck is here. I'm going to add that alert. Now you're going to get an alert anytime you get a deposit over $1,000. You'll get an in-app message, meaning you'll get a message here in your messages, and you're also going to get that email. So I've been talking for almost 40 minutes, so I am going to stop sharing, and we're going to see how we're doing in the Q&A. And we've got a great question here. I'm not a frequent debit card user. I have my card in hand, but I don't see any cards available in the online system. How can I get the card associated with my online dashboard? That is such a great question. I'm sure that Judy is writing back to you as we speak. And if you don't see it in that, it might be that your debit card has been, could have just expired for one thing. If you don't use it for a while, it can expire. So that could be part of the problem. Let's see. Okay, what exactly is a remote deposit? Yes, Judy said remote deposit is what we used to call mobile deposit. So this is where you can take a picture of your check from your mobile phone and have it deposited. And I would highly recommend for any of you folks who haven't tried remote deposit, it's really easy to enroll. There's an application form right on our website under the, if you go to online banking, click on remote deposit, you can find it there. You can also stop into one of your branches and sign up. But I love remote deposit. In fact, I'll be depositing checks in my office, even though my office is right off of the teller line. I don't even go to the teller line anymore because I don't have to fill out a deposit ticket. I just take a picture of my check front and back, click deposit, my money is there. I'm done. I don't have to run to the bank anymore. So it really is a time-saving thing. Really a wonderful product. Definitely recommend that you try it out. I think you'll never deposit a check again. We also have that available for businesses to be able to do remote deposits. It's a little bit of a different system there, but also a really great tool. Someone asked, excellent question, can I use Zelle to send money to my child living in Europe? And Judy did write back, through Zelle, you can only send to accounts at other banks in the United States. Yes, Zelle is for US banks only, so they have to have a US bank-based account and a US-based phone number. Another great question. Lots of questions about Zelle. Zelle's a really popular one. I really like it. My family live far away. And if we send money back and forth to each other, we all use Zelle now. It's super easy. You don't need routing numbers and account numbers. And the answer is no, you don't. The person on the other side would put their own account number and routing number in. You just need their phone number and you need their email address. And what this Zelle system does is it contacts whoever you want to send money to, or if you're requesting money from someone, and it asks them to put that money in themselves. So that way they don't have to give you that information. I know in this day and age, we're, a little less likely to share that kind of information. So it puts the onus on them. They can set it up themselves if their bank participates with Zelle, which most banks now thankfully do. And if their bank doesn't participate with Zelle, they can still receive it. They just have to download the Zelle app. It's really easy. Great. So lots of great questions there. I would encourage, if you do have questions, that you please put it in the Q&A so we can answer your question. Judy, do you want to jump on and see if there's anything I missed, or is there anything else that you'd like to add? I can tell you that Judy and I have worked really hard over the last couple of months to bring you this new product. We're really excited and proud of it. We hope you really like it. We think it's going to do a really good job of getting everybody into the future of online banking. And again, our goal here is to provide you with, best in class products, while having all the support of a local bank. So we're not going to abandon you if you don't know how to use things. We're here to help you. We want to make sure that you know how to use all these kind of cool features. Judy, do you have anything else?
Good afternoon, everyone. I know quite a few of the names that are on the list of users. I've been trying to answer, the questions as they're coming in. My group here, a lot of you have spoken to them over the years. We're here to help. If you have any questions regarding the system, you certainly can call the main support number, open a conversation. We're here to, to help you through this change. It is a significant change. And once you guys get used to it, I think you're really going to like the product.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is we heard a lot of feedback from folks, so we knew some of the things that you wanted. The big thing for us was, of course, we had built our online banking system many years ago, and then we added about, gosh, Judy, correct me if I'm wrong, 8 years ago, we had added the mobile banking app, and the two systems they're quite a bit different. And we really wanted to make these systems look the same, act the same, and as much as we could do that, they now do. So no matter where you are, whether, like, I can tell you that I like to check my account on my mobile phone, like I said, in the morning, but then I'm also on my computer, and I kind of like it when things look the same. I get annoyed with like restaurant apps that their website and their apps look completely different. I just find that really confusing. So having something that was seamless was really important to us, and we really think this is really great. Being able to see, for example, the remote deposits, the mobile deposits in both places. Of course, you can only do that with your mobile phone because you need a camera to do that. But being able to see that no matter where you are, also being able to send money right through your desktop if you're there, not having to jump onto your mobile banking app. So no matter where you want to bank with us, it's all the tools are available to you. And play around with it. I mean, and if you, like I said, if you have questions, I know your branches are really helpful and can answer those questions. And then Judy and her team, you can access them if you call our main number, the 963-4201, which is basically on all of our marketing materials. They're here, and we're all willing to help you in whatever way we can. So, all right. Well, I think that's it. I kept it to a nice 45 minutes. I think that's probably about as much as you can take of the exciting world of online banking. But again, if you have any other questions, we hope that you'll reach out to us and explore the system, and we hope that you enjoy it. So,
And can I just add one thing, Jackie?
absolutely, Judy.
For any of the participants that are using our business product and use it for business purposes, we didn't go over that today in this webinar, but if you have any questions regarding that side of it with things that have changed, please give us a call. We certainly can answer your questions and help you through that as well.
Well, wonderful. Again, well, thank you for joining us today. If you ever have anything else that you need, please reach out to us. We hope you enjoy the new product, and thank you for joining. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.